All right, so you've probably seen this making the rounds online. There's this global signature campaign that has just exploded, and it's kicking up a ton of debate. On the one hand, it looks like a pretty straightforward show of political support. But when you start digging a little deeper, well, that's when you find all these questions about what it's really for, and maybe more importantly, whether the personal data it's collecting is even safe. And right out of the gate, the organizers, a group called the Truth Streams, hit you with this really powerful emotional statement. They're making it absolutely clear that for them, this isn't just some political game. They're saying this is about a person's life, and the stakes just couldn't be any higher. And that really leads us to the big question we're tackling in this explainer. Once you get past all the passion and the politics, what is the actual goal here? What are they trying to do? Is this all just a symbolic gesture, or is it supposed to be a real legal petition? Or maybe something else entirely? So let's start with the absolute basics. This is a worldwide movement that was put together to show support for the former president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, and it's really managed to mobilize his supporters from pretty much every corner of the globe. Now, if you look at the official messaging, it's all about solidarity, principles. The people backing it say it's a unified, respectful campaign that's all about honoring legal processes, while at the same time sending a really strong message that the former president has a ton of popular support. Okay, but this is where it starts to get, well, a little complicated. Is this whole campaign just about making some noise and showing support, or is there an actual legal strategy behind it? This right here is the heart of the whole conflict. And honestly, even among his supporters, the story seems to keep changing. So on one side, you have this view from a supporter named Kirst Hoa Lim. The argument is basically that the whole thing is symbolic. It's just a way to show everyone how the public feels about what they're calling political persecution. And it doesn't matter if it has any real legal power or not. But then you get this totally different story from Alden Elro. He says the original goal for PRRD, and that's the nickname for former President Rodrigo Duterte, wasn't symbolic at all. Nope, it was a very specific, tangible legal move to actually petition the Supreme Court. So, which is it? So you see, we've got two completely conflicting narratives here. One is all about this heartfelt, emotional expression. The other is a very specific legal action that critics are already calling totally misleading. And this confusion, this lack of a clear purpose, that's a huge red flag for a lot of people watching this unfold. And this gets to the absolute core of what the critics are saying. Alden Elbro really puts it plainly. If the campaign has zero legal weight, then why are the organizers acting like it sends some kind of message to the International Criminal Court, the ICC, the body that handles major international crimes? It's a direct shot at the campaign's ever-changing story. Okay, so let's shift gears. Let's move on from why they're doing this and talk about the price. Not a price in money, but the price you pay with your personal information. And this is where the whole debate pivots from political goals to some very real and frankly very serious personal security risks. So what are people actually giving up to sign this thing? Well, it's not just your name and city. Take a look at this list. We are talking about your complete personal information. Your home address, your birthday, your phone number, and yeah, even your passport number. That is way, way more than you'd give for a typical online petition. And just listen to this warning from a user, RunPay. He says, look, when you give up your passport number and your phone number, that's a really powerful combination. In the wrong hands, that's more than enough to completely compromise your security and open you up to all sorts of trouble. And that leads to this, honestly, this chilling phrase. Some people are calling this specific collection of data the master key to identity. I mean, just think about that. It's a pretty stark warning that what feels like a simple click of support could actually be you handing over the keys to your entire digital and financial life. And here's a really crucial detail. There seems to be a specific focus on collecting data from overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs. And this is a group that, let's be honest, can often be more vulnerable to things like scams and exploitation when they're living so far from home. So for privacy advocates, this is a major, major concern. So, with all these concerns piling up, it's only natural that people start asking questions about who's running this whole show. The debate isn't just about data anymore. It's gotten really personal, with accusations flying back and forth about the motives and the credibility of the people organizing this campaign. And you kind of see the two sides digging in. On the one hand, supporters are basically saying, oh, the critics are just jealous because our campaign is so successful. But the critics are firing back, saying, no, this isn't about envy. This is about protecting people from what could be scams and exploitation. And the accusations are getting pretty serious. We're talking about claims of a hidden agenda, political opportunism, and there are even whispers about potential treachery coming from inside Duterte's own camp, which suggests this whole campaign might not be what it appears to be on the surface. And this really shows you the fundamental difference in how this debate is even happening. You've got one side, represented here by Alden Alfro, who's arguing for logic and reason, saying that real unity means you have to be able to have a debate. And then you have the other approach, which he describes as just noise and emotion, where anyone who disagrees is immediately treated like a traitor. So after all that, what does this tell us about what it means to show political support in this crazy, hyper-connected world we live in? This one campaign has accidentally become this perfect little case study of passion, politics, and all the hidden dangers of online activism. And really, it all boils down to this one central dilemma that I think we all face online more and more. How do you balance that desire to speak up, to show your support passionately, with the very real and often hidden risks to your own personal security? This quote right here just captures that dilemma perfectly. Here you have a potential supporter, someone who might even agree with the cause, but they stop. They hesitate. Why? Because the price of signing on, their passport details, is just too high a security risk. It's not worth it. And that leaves us with this final, really important question. As we all try to show support for causes we believe in, to make our voices heard, where do we draw the line? At what point does a signature of support become an unacceptable signature of risk? It's definitely something to think about the next time you're asked to sign on that digital dotted line.